Welcome, I am Brett from Hearns Hobbies.
And I'm BJ from Hearns Hobbies.
And this is episode 3 of the YOKOMO RO1.0 build. And this has been fantastic.
Hasn't it?
We
Look at
managed
it.
to smash that out in 2 episodes. Now the third episode is going to be installing the electrics and painting the body.
That's it.
Now
Finishing
people say,
off.
painting the body takes hours. Not this bad boy. This bad boy comes with it doesn't even, it has window masks, but we don't have to use them. It's got window stickers.
That's right. So we're going to
Doesn't it? We're going to do it
go through
full,
the really quick.
at full basic. This is meant to be, you know, we could do a concourse body and spend hours on it, but we're going to do it as exactly as the newbie would do it, the newcomer, the rookie, the first time builder.
Yeah, just to demonstrate how easy it is to get one of these cars onto the track.
And how good it's going to look.
That's right.
So we'll entrust BJ with fitting up the electronics, do a little bit of soldering.
Yep.
Because we'll be using a shorty battery in this that we can see on the overhead here. So we've got an Orca 5400 shorty pack.
Yep.
And the reason I've gone for this is because I've got it. This is just the current off-road pack that we use. It fits all off-road cars. So instead of breaking out a new one or anything, we're going to use that. We're going to use the silver can motor.
You got the silver can motor there?
Nope.
Nope.
Have you got it? We've lost it
It's in
already.
the bag. It's in the bag.
Which one?
It's in one of them.
My little bags are everywhere. Is it in this one?
That's really good. I don't know. It could be. I'm just admiring the
It's
suspension.
not in this one.
Not that one?
Is this one. Not in this one.
One thing I didn't get was alcohol. We're
What
probably
for?
going to want some alcohol to clean up the plate here before we mount up the.
We got some thinners, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we've got thinners. Thinners will do, aren't they?
How good are these Rubik's World bags? I've got it, baby.
Screws in there, doesn't it?
So-
I found it. Okay. What do we got?
Flasco GT2B.
Okay. Yes.
We're using this from another project, so that's why it's not coming out of the box. This is the receiver that's going to be used with it.
Okay.
I don't think this one will have to be bound, but if it does, that's a little bit of a tidbit as well.
Yep.
So a little. This is the 9 steps NSRC 001 speed controller, or ESC, that we're going to use. The ever faithful, I'm really looking forward to this, Johnson 540.
Aren't they a classic?
27 single. And a highest 550T. Now this is just one up from the base model or the entry level, because it's got metal gears.
Yep. Just to be extra tough.
Just to be a little bit on the safe side, and it's still, doesn't cost you hundreds of dollars for any of this gear. You know,
No, that's
it's all entry level stuff, and that's exactly what we're designed to do. Look,
Oh,
it
look
fits
at
in. Don't even have to machine it where the
No.
bush goes. You were a bit scared then, weren't you?
I was, because some.
Do you want me to screw it in while we're there?
Well, I've got to screw it in. Okay.
Is it going to make it easy for you to solder or harder?
I don't know. It might be hard for me to get down here.
What do you mean?
I
Can you
might as
tip it
well.
up? Can you
Yeah.
tip it up and bend this one over?
Yeah, but. Oh, okay. You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Alright, we can do that.
What do you reckon?
Yeah. Screw it in. Screw it in.
Now we want 2 holes. I want 1 hole up. 1 hole up looks
There's the
faster.
manual here. Let me have a quick look
Hey Manuel!
at what Manuel says to do.
And while you're doing a bit of tinkering, as far as soldering is concerned, I'm going to break out the rattle cans and paint up an RC body.
That's it.
And what's the bet? Do you reckon that we can get this done in about an hour?
Oh, we'll give it a go, eh?
Got to put the servo in and everything.
Give it a go. Okay, so that's the shock part
2.5
here.
mil motor screws. My days.
Right?
I said, all my days. Hasn't that take you back?
That takes me back.
So
Haven't
they
heard that
had-
in a while.
What doesn't?
What? Take me? What?
I'm not talking about a return. I'm talking about some motor screws.
Oh, yeah. It does take me back.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm talking about someone we know collectively that says, "Oh my days."
Oh.
All
My
right.
son. My son always says that.
Oh, does he?
Ah, that's like a cool thing.
Oh, is it?
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm not cool, but
No, you're not.
my,
You are a
wife,
little bit.
my wife says that and I laugh.
What? What? That you're not cool?
No, she says all my days.
Oh, does she?
And I say, calm down, Nonna.
Where's that speed controller? So I'm going to start.
The 9 steps NSRC 001.
That's the one. This one here.
60 amp.
Look at that. It's got the easy access here.
Easy access.
Yeah. See.
I like a bit of easy
Tear it in.
access. This
So
can't
what
even
we're
come
gonna
to the
have to do-
pinion.
It does.
Can I do the gear mesh?
Well, if you want to.
Not like a Messerschmitt, but
Well, what we got here is we've got the speed controller and it's
Right,
already
how about
pre-wired,
that?
right? Now we're going to be changing
Presto
the plugs
Chinjo.
for the battery. Because we're using a racer type battery, we'll change this to bullet type connectors. And then the motor wires here, they're a little bit short. So I'm going to cut those down and extend them.
I wonder if this had a motor gasket.
What do you reckon? What motor gasket?
Like a spacer.
I don't think so. No, just go straight in away.
Straight in.
Straight in. Okay, so I need... What would I do with my... Oh, you got the scissors over there?
Yep.
Well, something to cut this. I'm just going to cut the wires and I'm going to solder on
You're going to snip it?
some, look at that, ninja black wires.
Yeah, stealth.
Yeah.
We still want it to be a classy race build.
Yeah. What do I do with the... I've got heat shrink? Yes, I've got some black heat shrink here as well. Alright, I'm all sorted. I've even got my little jig here for holding the bullet plugs, because we've got bullet plugs right here.
Have you?
Some race perform wires. I think we're set. I'm set. I'm just going to do the reach around. I'm going to get some cutting tools.
Well, I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah, of course I can do that. Look. In here.
Did you do it?
I've done it. Okay, so I'm just going to trim these off.
Just doing a gear mesh.
Oh, look at that. Shorten the wires.
Look at that. I have not seen a 540 in a buggy for a long time, let alone a modern buggy. In fact, I don't think it's something I've ever seen.
Wow.
I love it. It's
Okay,
like an
that's cool.
oxymoron. I'll be the moron, you be the oxy.
Love it. Alright, so here we've got our...
Don't take the moral high road with me.
What?
Are you judging me? I'm unscrewing this wing beach because I'm going to paint it.
How do you know I'm judging it?
I can feel it in your tone.
Can you? I'm just trimming off the...
The long bits,
no, the...
making them short bits.
yeah. Well, that's the insulation sort of cleared off there. I'm just going to take the insulation off these two.
There's something quite zen
what?
about wiring up a speed controller, isn't there?
Is it?
Yeah.
I have to say, I haven't done this in a very long time.
Well, you haven't done a lot of RC builds in a while, have you? So
No.
what I'm doing, because I'm painting the wing, I don't know if we can see that there. I'm going to zoom.
I'll tell you there's something else I haven't done in a while.
Have a look.
Solder up.
Do you know what?
C batteries.
Do you know what I'm doing?
You're taking off the...
Protective coat.
Yeah.
Because I have to paint the wing from underneath.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And I've seen it done before.
Yeah.
Where you've actually painted on top of the thing. So I've got to take this off of the wing.
Yep. If you're clever, you could reuse that and cover a little bit on the outside so you don't get overspray.
No, I'm not clever.
Oh.
I don't, use
Alright.
tape. I don't think I grabbed any tape, did I?
Oh, didn't you?
That was a gross oversight. So just to make a handle.
So over here I've got the speed controller, I've trimmed it down, I've taken off the insulation, I've left probably about 5mm, I've taken off 5mm of the insulation, so they're going to be my contact solder points. I've done one end here, so that we can tin that, and then we'll solder them
Tin.
here. Might as well do the other end, eh? I'll do this end.
Please do.
And then we'll just snip it wherever we need it later. So I'm just going to trim this off with some scissors. We do have insulating removal pliers, but
Do you?
yeah, we've got them here somewhere, I just can't find them.
I'm just making a little adjustment to this body to make it easier to get on and off. Because we all know...
Got my solder here. This is pretty classic 60-40 type solder.
Oh, 60-40.
Very easy to flow.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, so I mean, it's quite popular to use silver solder. The silver solder is quite hard because of silver content, and if you don't have like flux, it doesn't flow at all. It's really crappy to solder, isn't it? It's not enjoyable at all.
So that is really nice, and it's good just to have a nice quality solder. You can wear gloves with it. Some people, you definitely want to wash your hands after doing it because it does have lead in it. Good quality solder does have lead. So the 60-40 is lead, tin.
That's right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So...
Right, I've got my soldering iron here. It's been cooking for a while.
You can get lead-free solder, but I've never had much joy with it, to be honest.
Lead-free solder is like silver solder. It's very high temperature and it doesn't flow.
No flow.
Yeah, it doesn't like to flow,
I
but
like
it is safer.
Well, if you're going to eat it.
Yes, I was. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to tin these, and tinning just means putting solder. Actually, let's clean this off.
I'm going to show the people of the world what paints we're using.
Okay.
I'm going to start with a bit of lame flake. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to steal the camera.
Oh.
Got a PS53.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a layer of that down.
Well, we used that on the Fiat recently.
The Fiat Bath, and I was really happy with it.
Yeah.
Come up really good in the studio.
Yeah.
Then we're going to use 9 Steps Orange.
Yep.
Because I think that's really going to go well with the YOKOMO yellow stickers.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I'm going to use those.
Yes.
And then we're going to back it all with a PS1 white.
And that's going
to make it really resilient. Now I have to remember to save a bit of orange, because after I paint the white on the wing,
yeah,
I'm going to then have to paint the orange, otherwise it's going to be white from the underside.
That's right. That's right.
Isn't it?
It is.
And we're going to do all that.
Oh, you might as well keep it zoomed in.
In about 3.5 minutes.
This will be easier for everyone to see. I just moved myself closer to here.
Can you excuse me while I go off painting?
Yeah, off you go. I'm
going to go wash this body.
Yep.
And get some painting done.
Alright, here's the speed controller.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, let me just get this focused right. Play around with this for a sec. Oh, there it is.
Nan, where'd you put the tape?
That's sharp. Okay, so I've got my solder just unravelled a bit. It's just floating around in the air, so it's a bit easier to handle. Here's the wires, which I've already taken the insulation off, and I'm just going to tin. So tinning just basically means applying solder onto the wire so that the wire absorbs it and it coats the whole wire. That's why I've spun it around so I can get to the other side, and once it gets enough heat into it, it will distribute it evenly all around. So just check the wire. There's a bit more over here. You can see how we got quite a nice glossy finish on that. Okay, let's do the other one. We'll just feed the solder into the wire as it sucks it up. Do not spin around and get it from the other side. And I'm making sure these other wires are out of the way. So we don't damage it. Okay, so that's nicely coated all the way around. From what I can tell. There's a bit more on this side. That's right. Okay, so now we're going to do exactly the same thing on these wires here. So we're going to tin those. And tinning basically means that after the wires have absorbed enough solder on both ends, it'll be very easy to join them together. So I'm just spinning the wire at the same time. There we go, so it's all silver. That's good. And then this side. So it is easy to tin wire when it isn't attached to anything yet. But before you notice that I was trying to turn the speed controller and it was becoming quite awkward. With this way, it's just the bare wire, so it's easy to spin it. And you can see how it's just sucked up all that solder in, still a bit bare. So there we go. Alright, so we've got those two ends tinned. We've got our speed controller tinned. Now all I need to do is join those together. Okay, so hold this like this. Now usually if there was a plug on the end of this, I'll be putting the heat shrink on now so that I can actually slide it back. But since these are just going to be bare wires which I'm going to cut, the heat shrink can be slid in at a later stage. So we'll leave that out. Makes it all simpler. Pull the wheel out a bit. Get that out of the way. Get some solder onto the iron tip, and then we hold those together, and then we apply the heat of the iron across the two sides, and then the solder will flow between and give you a join. There you go, so that's attached. Okay, so that's a little bit gnarly here, but that doesn't really matter because the gnarly bits actually help hold the heat shrink in place, act like a barb, so I don't mind it being a little bit gnarly looking there. I'll do the same thing this side. Now you're probably wondering, we're using the same coloured wire on, I mean black. I mean that's mainly for aesthetics. And it's less of an issue with a brush motor because if you have these the wrong way around, it just means the brush motor is going to be spinning the opposite way. And that's easily fixed just by swapping the motors wires across. And there we go. Oh, just probably not join that well on this side. Not enough solder. Let's get some more in there. And we'll just do that again. There we go. So let's check the other side again. Oh, still not enough. That was a little bit bare, isn't it? Alright, let's try that again. There we go. Ah, much better. Actually, it looks like I missed a bit of solder on that side. That's what happens when you try to do it on camera without any glasses. Now, if I do this, this is just going to separate these two with the heat. That doesn't matter. There we go, all good. So, pretty quick operation. It's all soldered into place, nice and tight. Alright, let's take this out. Alright, let's have a look at where this is going to be sitting inside the car. Now see that the antenna is on this side, so we have the receiver sitting here, we'll have the speaker controller on this side. And we're going to, let's see, probably be neater like this. We will have the battery plugs going across here. So maybe this way is better. Yep, the reach is better. And then we just want to make sure that our motor wires across here look right. So I'm just going to cut those to about here. Easy like that. Okay, so that was just to get length of these wires, and now I'll be quite happy to do the heat shrink. So I've got some heat shrink here. We want to make that, cut that so it's a little bit bigger than the actual solder, so it covers it up really well. So that's a pretty generous piece. Copy that, whoops, for the other side. Slip it on. And we'll just shrink that down with a cigarette lighter. Make sure there's enough room there. Got my cigarette lighter. Just being careful, so we're just underneath, we're probably a few centimeters underneath. Don't want to have direct flame on the heat shrink. I just want to gently shrink it down. So both of these wires are silicon, so there's no problem with them melting like any of the sort of cheaper types of wire. It's still good to be gentle because you can still burn the heat shrink. Okay, so there we go. That's all hinge up nice and tight. Nice and clean. Alright, so now I'm just going to trim off the ends and we'll tin the ends of these wires. And then we'll be able to directly solder these directly onto the motor. And that saves us a plug as well. Get our solder again. Let's do some more tinning. How you travelling?
How we going in here, Smokey?
Going good, I think.
I'm just going to mic up for a second. I was just going to explain to the viewers exactly what I've been up to.
What have you been up to? I've been hearing some fan noises and...
That's the instruction system.
Oh, is it?
The instruction system.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm feeling a-okay. Geez, you are zoomed in there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm getting right into it, mate.
Hey? How you going with the 25 watt wine and the beautiful Orca solder copper cable?
Oh, the cable's nice.
The cable is absolutely beautiful, but the biggest problem is, and I don't call it a problem, is that because it's pure copper, it absorbs heat very fast.
It does, it's getting
So,
hot.
without a good soldering iron, you're really going to struggle because it's going to take all the heat out of the tip.
Yep.
And the last thing you want is a cold tip.
That's it.
Is it?
That's right. Don't like cold tips. Let me get rid of that solder there.
Have a look at what I've done in a couple of minutes.
So you flaked it up.
So what I did is I ran away from here.
Yep.
And I washed it with a mild detergent.
Yep.
In this case it was Nan's favourite Morning Fresh. Just dishwashing liquid.
Yep.
Just nice hot warm soapy water. Washed all the inside of the body shell.
Yep.
And then I've in fact made myself a little carrier handle with just a bit of tape.
Yeah, really easy, isn't it?
Because I'm painting it from the underside.
That's right.
Where I removed the protective film.
Yeah.
And the body shell itself, you can see here it's a matte finish. That's because it has the protective film on there still.
Yep.
Again, I washed it, and like I said, it does actually include the window masks inside the box, but we chose not to use them because
you're just going to use the sticker windows.
Going to use the window stickers.
And we'll show you how easy it is to make this.
That's right. And
nice
this is all in
like real easy.
Of what? So you can see here. I don't know if the camera's going to pick up the fleck.
You can see the fleck.
Probably in this one without the protective layer.
Yeah.
You can see
dots there.
Little dots.
So they're going to sparkle.
So that is coat 1.
Okay.
And it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run away and do coat 2.
Okay.
And then I will be right back.
Alright, no worries. So I'm going to continue on with the speed controller. So I'm going to change the Tamiya plug now. So we're not going to go Tamiya plug because we've got racing pack in. We're going to be going the bullet plug method. So I'm just going to cut off from here. Oh, there goes the plug, it's gone. And I'm just going to take off the insulation again around here, just a little bit. And we'll tin this again. So I'm just spinning this up so that the wire filaments stay together. Get my solder. And tinning. So tinning is a very important thing. Now I did mention flux before, particularly with lead-free solder and also silver solder. Now this solder is actually resin core, so it's got flux in it already, and that's what you're seeing burn off. And that's what's helping the solder stick, because what the flux does is actually cleans the surface and allows the solder to stick well and flow. Okay, that's about right. Let's add a little bit more here. Get it nice and shiny. Okay. I think that's good enough for a bit of tinning. Clean off that little dag. Alright, so that's ready to take the bullet plugs. Now to help me put on the bullet plugs, I've actually got this jig here. Now the jigs are just going to hold the plugs in place so they don't move around. If you don't have one of these, because we do quite a bit of soldering, then just use a pair of pliers with a rubber band across the handle to close it shut, and that'll act like a little vise for plugs, because you can see the plugs are quite small, so you don't need much to hold it in place, but you do need something. You notice that these particular ones are actually shaped so that they've been chiseled, I guess you call it, or chamfered, so that it makes it nice and positive where it gets soldered onto the wire, so the wire can just sit inside here. So find a corresponding size hole, so that one works well. It just drops in, and that'll stop it from, you know, moving around too much. Now, since we've tinned the wire, we also want to tin the plug. So I just want some soldering here. You see how the solder's filled in that void. And what we'll do is we'll get some solder on top of our tip, and that will flow here. So we'll lay our wire on top there. Apply the tip with a bit of solder already melted, and as the heat travels through, the heat will travel through the wire then into the plug. Get it right here. There we go, you can feel it squishing down. And now the wire is feeling really hot and I can barely hold it. Ah! There we go. Actually, I don't know if this is a good thing, because this is aluminium, it's actually sucking all the heat out. Let's see if I do it this way. Probably use some pliers here, because it's such a fact that I can't hold it. Here we go. Hold that from there. It does help if you have a really hot soldering iron as well. Now that has taken, but I just don't like how it's not really smooth. That's got to do with losing heat out of the soldering iron quickly. So let's see if we can do this. Alright, so that's attached now. I think that looks like a pretty good joint. Test that in a sec when it cools down. So let's just get prepared for the next one. And there. Again, we'll get our solder and just quickly tin the plug. And let's get some more solder on the tip. Have a little ball. And we'll do the other side. Just my pliers again.
Oh!
How was it? Was it good?
What happened?
I'm soldering up the bullet plugs.
Do you want me to put a bit of solder in there for you?
I think I'm right.
Sometimes soldering can be a bit of a three-handed job, can't it?
It can be, and what I've noticed is I've always thought that these jigs were really handy, except this jig is actually aluminium and it's sucking all the heat out of the iron.
Do you know what I like to use?
How's that? That's actually looking alright. Oh, that's a bit messy, isn't it?
I like to use blue tack.
Blue tack for...
9 steps cleaning putty.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a bit messy, isn't it?
Well, only for a minute. Ready?
You're going to load it up. Oh, there we go. That's the ball we're looking for.
Ooh.
Nice and shiny.
Shiny balls.
And since we've done that, why don't we do the other one?
Yeah. Give it heat.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Shiny balls are what we like.
You reckon?
Look at that.
It's good.
Yeah, happy with that?
It's good.
Alright, that'll do.
I love it.
Alright, let's zoom out and what do you got there?
What have
Because I
I
can
got?
smell something.
That's shower day.
Oh, is
Look
it?
at this. Look how good this workmat is. Look, solder. No
Yeah,
problem.
this flies off it. Yeah. Wow!
Wow.
That's speckly orange.
Speckled. Speckled schmeckle.
And it feels warm because you've been hair drying it.
Potentially. Well, I've stolen an hairdryer.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I really love it. 9 steps orange. Now it's a corporate colour, so it's trademarked.
Yep.
Wouldn't commonly be known as PS63.
Yep.
So I've just got to give it that. It has had one rather heavy coat,
Yep.
if I'm to be honest.
Yep.
Probably a bit too heavy. But what I like about the lame flake is it actually creates texture.
Mm.
And it holds the paint on the plastic better.
It does.
You know, so you can load a little bit more.
Yep.
But there is, here it's got quite a deep contour.
Yeah, that's always
in the
tricky,
body
isn't it?
shop. So it's really hard to get the penetration you need with the spray can.
You can always try to
without
spread it
getting-
out. But
Yeah, it's a little bit hard with 2 hands.
yeah.
Unless you're going to stand there and hold it open for me and
Yeah.
watch me. Is that like that?
That's right.
Get in there.
But you notice that I'm stretching it, it's not really affecting the back much anyway. The spine's still pretty much the same shape. So I guess it's just a matter of trying different angles to try and get as much paint as you can, but you'll never get it fully covered anyway. It doesn't matter, I think it looks good.
It is such a beautiful pigment that when it goes on it'll be alright. So
Yes.
I'm just going to give it a really light second coat now.
Yes.
This one here I think is nice and uniform enough.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with doing that. What I've done here is hold it up to the light. Ooh,
Yeah.
that looks pretty good.
Well, that's right. You just look at the, how transparent it is.
And keep in mind it's going to have go fast stickers all over it too.
That's right.
We included. So
Yeah, it looks good.
off-road bodies you can be quite rough.
Rough.
You know, and
Rough.
it is only a little shell. We're doing a single colour, not even masking the windows.
Rough.
I'll be back.
Alright. Okay, I'm going to continue on. Okay, so here's our speed controller. Don't need that anymore. Used all that. Speed controller, it's got the wires extended for the motor. We've got the plugs in place for the battery. And this is all pretty standard. We're all going to use that. And here is our car again. Alright, so these are going to be mounted like this. Just be soldered up here. So basically I've ensured that there's enough wire here so that these can reach the terminals, which is one here and one here. I was thinking about shortening this so there's no way of getting them mixed up, because if you mix them up, well, the speed control will explode and we don't want to do that. But I mean, we can always just leave it as is, and it means it's more flexible if we need to move it to another car, or in the case that these polarities actually do change. So what we could do is we could probably shorten it and put a cable tie around it and put it in place that way. Okay, so there we go. Plugs in nicely, no problem at all. Except my solder's just come off. Okay, so that didn't solder on very well, did it? So we'll fix that right now. Alright. Let's bring this back. It's like a bit of deja vu. Stick that in there. Zoomage in. There we go. Alright, let's try that all over again. Now getting the heat in there is the hard bit. So let's get my wire here. Alright, let's see if that was any better. Well, it looks pretty ugly. Let's put some more solder on it. Okay, Nice globule there. Hopefully that's a lot better. Stick it in there, move it around. Yeah, that's pretty tight now. Okay, much better. So that's something just to be careful of, because sometimes if you don't have enough heat in there, particularly with these plugs that are so big they suck a lot of power out of the iron, that can be an issue. So oh, it's tight. And this one is still tight? No. Yep, that's tight now. Okay, all good. We are sorted. Alright, let's see. Now we'll screw on this removable radio plate. It's quite clever because that actually screws in with some small screws, and then you just put double-sided tape, receiver attaches, and your speed controller, so that when you're actually working on your car, you can easily unscrew it with 3 screws. Comes out, and this is all clear and very easy to clean up. So we've got these small screws here. What are these? These are 2x5s. Okay, little tiny things here. And I'll screw those into place. Now these will probably take a 1.5 mil. This is 1.5 mil. Alright, so these. Do that one first. Once we locate the first one, it'll be easy to get the rest of them. That's it. And you just have to be careful that you don't over tighten these. So I'm not going to tighten that all the way yet. And like always, as we built the car in the first place, we'll nip these up a bit later on. There. There's the third one. Okay, so you can see those 3 little screws. Don't need to be done up really tight. Now if you're a real traditionalist, I mean, you don't have to use this plate at all. You just go straight onto the chassis if you like. Just means your electronics are going to be pretty permanent. Alright, so there's our little plate in place. Now this will, this way around. Put it on here. And then, where's it? Receiver. Receiver we can put here. But I might just wait for Brett to come back because he might have some preferences with where he wants this sort of stuff. And I guess we can start working on servo. So let's get our servo out. This is a Hearns 550T, so metal geared, standard. And we need to find the right servo horn. Let's move this and get some more space. What have you done?
Here we go.
I started work on the servo.
Are you got it powered up?
Now I've got the radio tray in. I haven't cleaned that yet, so I might get you to clean that in a sec. And then if you can work out how you want to arrange the electronics, I'm thinking the speed controller sits there.
I think that is perfect.
Right, so we've got a little bit of extra length here, but once that goes on, it actually gives a little bit of movement here if you need to get the battery inside.
Yeah.
And then the receiver, so you can work out the orientation that you want on that.
Beautiful.
But in the meantime, yeah.
Have we got a bit more black heat shrink?
Heat shrink?
Being fussy.
Oh, what? You want to cover it all up?
Well, I thought of.
Well, we can. We've got plenty. We've got plenty.
Have we?
Yeah, we've got a heap.
Because I know you can't really join it any further down, but you know.
But you want to make it stealth.
It's the racer in me that just doesn't really like cold wires.
Yeah, here we go. We've got a heap of shrink. Look at that. Take as much as you want.
Well, I just want a little bit.
Okay. So what do I need to do here? I've got to work out. So the assumption would be, this is already centered, right? I would expect it to be centered out of the factory. So let's just hope it is.
We can power it up.
You want to power it up?
I hope. Let's power it up.
Oh, okay. Alright, so I'll plug this into here. So steering goes into the channel 1.
Because everyone can be a little bit different. Can't it?
Oh, it can be. So if we power it up, we can be certain that we get everything centered, right?
Because on a competition car like this, it only involves taking 2 screws out and taking the servo out, but still.
Alright, we got speed controller in channel 2.
I'm going to plug the battery in remotely.
Okay, make sure you get the polarity right.
Now what I love about these speed controllers, if we could please utilise the inbuilt switch bracket.
Oh, so that just slides on?
Yeah, because whenever you, what am I trying to say? Whenever you double side tape down the switch, it never stays put.
No, it always comes off,
because
right?
the switch is like just heavy under its own inertia and the constant handling.
Yes.
They always come loose, and then you've got a switch rattling around. I don't care who you are.
Okay. Well, that'll mount up inside the middle of the chassis then.
Yeah.
If we're going to align the
No, I haven't plugged them backwards, have I?
No. I hope not. We'll see smoke.
Because we probably need to figure out which way is forward and backwards as well.
Okay. So I've got my servo here. Okay, we've got lights on the receiver.
Let's turn the transmitter on. And I'm going to put the trim to 0. If I can just see the studio lights are blinding me.
Are they? Blinding!
Yeah. Blinded by the lights.
Alright, it's spinning.
What a beautiful servo, may I add. Can you hear it? How smooth?
Put it up close to your mic. Nice. Okay,
Beautiful.
so that's centered. Alright, so if we switch this off.
Switch it off. Boom.
And that's centered.
Now, just while we've got it going, can we please check the channel 2? Can I please check the motor? You want
to make sure it's spinning in the correct direction?
Yeah.
So do you want to just try to visually look at the shaft? Because it is pretty hard to see.
What do you mean? I've got opinion on it.
Oh, have you? Oh, okay, that helps then.
Doesn't it?
In that case, let's prop it up so it doesn't try to drive away. And the easiest way would be to put it on top of this pillar of solder. You ready?
A pillar. You're a pillar of my community.
You ready? What? Are you ready? Let's make sure that's...
I am. I'll hold the wires if you can actuate the motor gently.
You on?
Yeah.
Oh, spot on!
And then go reverse. No, that's not right.
Oh, okay. We need to reverse the speed controller because
So-
the brakes were actually applying forward. You ready?
Yeah.
Throttle reverse, which is right here. Alright, so that's reverse now.
Try now.
Okay, that's brakes. Bring it back.
And
Reverse. No, there's no reverse. Oh, there we go.
Forward.
Brakes.
And then neutral.
Back.
And then reverse.
No. Is that because we need to center?
Maybe this one wasn't centered. Did I do that? It's pretty close to center.
Is it?
But it does recalibrate every time you turn it on and turn it off. So let's try again.
Yep.
Sometimes it can just take a couple times. Alright.
You ready?
Now it's on. I've got the yellow wire at the bottom.
Yellow's on the bottom.
And we've got the blue wire on the top.
Yep. You ready?
Yep. No.
No, that's the wrong way around.
That's
Okay,
the
so
wrong way
swap it around. So yellow on the top.
Yellow on the top.
Yep.
And then this one like yay. So then reverse the throttle.
Throttle reverse.
Turn it on, turn it off again, the speed controller. And we should be on the money.
Ready?
Yeah. Perfect. There we go.
Okay, so yellow on the top.
So we've got this one, blue one, on
Blue
the
one.
bottom.
Blue's on the bottom, yellow on the top.
Okie dokes.
Okay. No worries.
There we go.
Sounds like a plan, man. Alright, let's switch it off.
That was really good. I love that. Now, look what I've done.
What have you done?
The wing is effectively finished.
Is it?
So it's had the lame flake,
Yes.
It's had the orange.
Yes.
It's had a white.
Yes.
And it's had an orange.
Oh wow! So
Yep.
it's orange all the way through
So
now.
it's orange all the way through, and that will be the final colour.
Okay.
Now, as you might have alluded, it might have got a bit of overspray on it, but that's okay. We've got some cleaner. I can fix that up.
Yeah. We have our ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to continue on with the Servo. So we just centered it. So looking at how it sits, it needs to be like this direction. Let's move this out of the way. Let's focus in there. Alright, so we've got our mounts, which are these. And then we've got spacers if we need them. So basically what the spacer does is it allows the servo to either sit forward of the mounts, or if we don't, we just screw it straight up flush with the mounts. So at the moment it's telling us to screw it all the way up, and we'll see what it's like and how it sits with the steering, and see if we need to put in those spacers or not. So what I need are some of these screws. What is that? That's a 3x12 with a washer. 3x12s. I'll do those, and the washers. Okay, so these are going to hold it nice and tight. Alright, so checking the gaps on the servo, the screw actually goes straight in, so that makes it easier for us to just screw this straight through. We need a 2mm wrench. Should be here somewhere. There's 2.5. 2mm. Okay, so that's one prepared. Now these servo mounts do have 2 holes per mount, so you can do the bottom mount as well, but you only really need the top one to hold it into place. Okay, so with it like so, we can actually slide this onto the servo ears now, like so, and then we can tighten them up. Okay, like so. Now I've screwed it up so it's sort of flush with the bottom of the ear. So it's sort of flush with the base of the servo. It'll vary with different servos because there's different sizes. I just like doing that just to get consistent. So the other side, try to do the same again. So that when you screw it all up, it'll be nice and flat. Okay, so that feels pretty good. Just nip it up a little bit tighter. Okay, and now we can put on the servo horn. Okay, so this being a higher servo, it'll be a 25 tooth, and they actually give you 3 different horns here, and they're all marked. So this one is Sanwa KO, this one is H for high tech, and then this one is Y and F, so F for Futaba, so that's the one we want. Now before we put this on, we need to put in the ball stud. The ball stud just goes through the front. Like so. Try to get it as straight as you can. Screw it up until it's tight. Okay, and that will just fit on like so. Now when we put it on, we try to get it in a as centered position as possible, but sometimes it won't be exact. That's why we adjust the trims at a later stage. We try to get it as close as we can. And you see that it's just slightly off. Okay, so later we'll be needing to bring it back this way. Alright, so we've got some screws here as well, and generally servos will have 3mm threaded screws now, so 3x10, which would be this one. We'll screw that in. I'll probably want a little bit of Loctite. Hey Nan, where's your Loctite? I think I found just enough just on the edge here. Bit of leftover from yesterday. Let's screw it up. If I nip it up just a little bit tighter, because it's screwing into plastic, that will help it stay in place as well. But just a touch of it, just so it avoids rattling loose, because it's metal to metal. There we go. And that's in. Right, so that's ready to mount now. Now what do we have? So, we have our car here. It's got some room. We have our steering servo. And we've got our little connector. Okay, so I think we'll put that onto the servo here first. Clip this into place. There we go, nice and tight. And then let's take the speed controller out for the moment. Let's just put this in and see. Oh, should have done that.
What's happened? Did you burn yourself?
I did. How about I switch off the soldering iron?
I thought I could smell barbecue, BJ.
Yeah, it smells like pork, doesn't it?
A bit more cloves in it than pork.
So what I've got here...
Ooh. I was going to fix this. Can I fix this?
You can if you want. Alright, so I've got it in place. Now let's see if the holes sort of match up. Alright, so let's just adjust it around a bit. There we go. There's one hole and there's the other hole. Alright, so let's get our screws. We've got these countersunk screws here. We'll mount up our servo. We're just going to do these up a little bit because I want to see how it's, or whether or not it's interfering with that radio plate that we're screwing in. And it doesn't. Got a nice little gap there. Because the concern will be, if we unscrewed these 3 screws here, whether or not the whole plate will come out, because it might get jammed up against the back of the servo, but it's all good. No problem at all there. Now I want to make sure that we get the linkage in here. There we go, and we'll just have a look at how it sits. And we want all this stuff reasonably straight.
Are you doing the steering trim?
Well, I'm just checking the spacing of the servo in relation
To the bell crank?
Yeah. Because you don't want super massively odd angles, right?
No. And they do
But if it's close enough...
They do include spaces for a reason.
Well, that's right. So there's the spaces that we were looking at before.
And we haven't even used a super low profile servo.
No.
Not super low profile. A low profile servo. We have just used a standard size servo.
And it fits in easy.
Yeah, plenty of room.
Alright, so that's what it's going to be like. And I think it's okay.
I think it's good.
We'll just screw it in, yeah?
Yeah, a 550T, one of Brett T's favourites.
So if you can see what I'm looking at here, I just want that, you see that rod there, to be reasonably straight against, you know, the...
Don't talk to me about straight rods. Con rods.
I think that's pretty good. So we don't need to bring it any more forward. And we don't need to adjust it.
You might have to block your nostrils.
Why? What do you
I
want?
have got one of,
Alright, so we've got that attached.
to me, is best products in the world.
Tighten it up. Is that the cleaning?
This
The body
is
cleaner?
Tamiya body polycarbonate cleaner, what
Yeah.
I'm using here. And that is because a certain somebody may or may have not protected himself
Right.
and his or her wing
Right.
against the dreaded overspray.
Oh, really?
And much to the disappointment of many others, sprayed it on like a chimp.
Right. But it's very easy to clean off.
Very easy. That's why
So you notice
I
that.
had the confidence to do it.
Very good. I've got one hole here, which is a perfectly round hole, and then the other side is slotted. Okay, so that can adjust for, you know, variances and servos a little bit. So what I like to do is I'll screw this up because this locates it, and then this naturally spaces out to where it needs to be in the slot. Then you tighten up this end, and then it doesn't. The mounts don't fight each other.
That's right.
Because you don't want any family fighting, right?
Well, don't worry about family fighting. You just worry about servo fighting. Straight and
so
true.
we just straighten that up and screwed it in, nice and flush. Make sure you don't over tighten those, but you just want to nip it up so it doesn't come loose.
Nip it up.
And there we go. So we've got spaces here we can keep for a rainy day. We've got spare horns there in case, you know, we want to change a servo at some stage.
You've actually done really well. Look at that. That is beautiful.
Is it?
That steering rack. Oh, and look at the geometry. Because we put the limiting lock screws in, do you remember that? Look at that.
Yes.
So we don't have to rely on the end points being exactly true.
Yes.
Not to hit the spring because we've set it in.
Yeah, to be perfect.
To be perfect.
Yes. Yeah, good. Very nice. Nice touches, eh? So this bit here, do you think your body cleaning would be good for this?
I prefer just to use a bit of
regular thinners
or IPA.
Oh, okay. I've got any IPA right there.
Where's the IPA? No.
So we're pretty close now. Alright, so we've got that. Once we decide on where we attach the speed controller and stuff, I'll solder in.
This suspiciously looks like
Actually, I'll need to switch this on again. I'll probably burn myself again. What looks like IPA?
It's actually water.
Which one?
That red bottle. This one here though, that says IPA on it.
Yep, you reckon that's IPA? Have a whiff.
Do you know what IPA stands for?
International Protective Agency.
Indian Pale Ale.
Oh, you drink that all the time. It's good stuff, isn't it? Now, why was it called Indian Pale Ale? Because when the British were in India...
Something about the Boston Tea Party.
Oh, it's related. Didn't it have something to do with... to keep everyone happy, they need to ship beer across. And they need to increase, I don't know, whether it was alcohol or something. Or hops or something in the mix to make sure that it's survived the journey to India. And hence why it's a sort of, you know, a fuller flavoured beer.
Instead of that, you know, I'm going to start an argument here. Instead of that weak lager. Is that right?
It's refreshing, isn't it, lager? But lager, I guess, wouldn't have made the journey. And I don't know, maybe they just couldn't brew it over there. Wouldn't you have brewed it over there?
Well, to English, I'm surprised I can brew anything. Am I being
Alright, so
contentious?
we want to have that, you want to have that on reasonably flat on the surface of that plate, don't you?
Yeah, but I also want to get nothing close to the wires.
Yeah, but there's heaps of white.
Do you remember which one was at the bottom?
The blue one, wasn't it? Yellow's on the top.
Is it?
Yeah. How's that? You happy with that? Is there enough room here for your receiver?
Now, a little trick that I like to do.
So you want that like that, and you want this to do the pokey out here, right?
Yeah, now we might do a double layer under the receiver so we can curl up the antenna.
What double layer?
Double layer of sticky stuff.
Oh, so it's elevated.
Did you bring sticky stuff?
Sticky stuff? There's sticky stuff in here.
A bit of sticky stuff, yeah.
Wasn't there?
This is
You've
from
got
the
heaps
kit.
there, and there's some here for the speed controller.
So by double layer...
So here.
Oops, I'm going to use heaps here, aren't I?
Yeah, trim that off so you don't get extra dirt in there. I hate extra dirt hanging on things like that.
Wouldn't it be funny if I cut the aerial off now?
Ding!
This far into the build. Classic Brett.
It's only got a range of 10 centimetres.
That's right, I'd be running around the track like a 3-year-old. No, do you remember that? Do you remember that seeing as kids and running around after your RC car?
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's where it all started.
That's traumatising.
Why?
Because I still remember it.
What about the ones with cords? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
The cheap ones from...
That wasn't radio controlled, that was remote controlled.
From toy shops or, you know, not hobby shops, but they would have...
Yeah, a little umbilical cord hanging out of them.
Yeah.
Do you remember TVs? They used to have the remote with the umbilical cord.
Yeah. Ours had that at home.
Did it?
Yeah. I thought that was normal. Don't pick on me. So I put a lay down there, and I can put a coil.
Yeah. And so what are you going to do now?
Well, I'm just looking at the orientation.
Yeah.
Because under this one we might try and do a double layer and put this receiver and servo wires. Is that how you had it, like that?
Yeah. Well, I'm one of those that would actually just coil the wire, like flatten it, and just leave it inside there.
Frat?
Frat.
Like my pug. That's what she does.
Is your pug going to make a guest appearance?
When? A Friday night special live?
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, we can't say that because this video's got no context. Probably won't even be released until well
doesn't
after
matter. People just be wondering what we're talking about. That's all. Oh, I've never done it like this before.
What do you mean?
I've never done the multi-layer.
Have you?
No, not like this.
Well, how do you usually do it?
Well, I do the old school. Get the like early retro stuff. You wind this around a tool like a screwdriver and it coils, and just have it coiling sitting there.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it hidden.
You like it hidden. You like it stealth.
I like it not to be there.
So that's why we did the black wire, because that's like ninja stealth.
That's right. I'd rather things not be there that I don't have to see.
Right.
And being such a dark chassis, because it is predominantly plastic,
Yeah.
it's very easy to spot these things, no?
Well, it's a white wire on a black chassis. It's like full contrast, isn't it?
Well, you could say
Full
that.
Monty contrast.
You could say that.
Alright, so you're going to butt that all the way across, yeah? So there won't be enough space for the speed controller.
I'm thinking something like that.
Oh yeah? That's pretty short, mate. There's not much aerial left.
You don't need it. As long as you got this clear bit sticking at the top.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like we're going to the velodrome. It's going no more than 100.
How do you know this is going to the velodrome?
Well, it might do. But it might not do with the $50 radio.
Alright, so that's in. Alright, so now we've got to work out what we're going to do with this one.
That'll fit down in between there perfectly, huh?
Let's spin around?
Yeah.
Right, hang on. Here.
You know what's good for this? Gizmos. Where's my gizmos?
You're just going to push it in there?
Yeah. But I like to use a gizmo.
Because it's gentle? Well, that's in, isn't it? Sort of.
Where's my gizmo? I like how I've just come in the studio and just railroaded your full install.
Hang on.
Munted it.
Hang on.
Where's my black gizmo gone? I've got a green gizmo. Got a nice little dunga.
I'm burning myself again.
Why? Turn the iron off. I need to solder the motor. Oh, what have you done now?
I'm making it neat.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's what Nan would say.
Ready? So I just spun it around. Okay? So what do you want to do now? That was worth the effort, wasn't it? That was worth the wait.
That was worth the wait. That's all right. And then I poked it out in the meantime.
Right, okay. So that's worked out well, hasn't it? Alright, so that's just going to hold it all together. Now how are we going to do this?
You hold me together.
Seems that way.
I know.
Alright, so that's going to go in there somehow.
That'd be a blithering mess if it wasn't for you.
Alright, so that needs to fold back this way.
Yeah.
And we'll get the black on the top this time to hide the white.
That's right. Look at that, and you're going to plug it straight in.
Yeah. So
No?
where does that go? It goes this way.
Channel 2. Channel 1 to turn, channel 2 to burn. I can't believe that I've painted a body in that amount of time. Yeah?
Oh, you have, haven't you?
I have never painted a body so quick. This RO1.0 has made me happy in so many ways.
Well, that looks pretty neat, doesn't it?
I think you've nailed it.
That's going to hold itself together.
And I hate cutting wings. Do you believe it was pre-cut?
It was too, wasn't it? Made it easy. Alright, so you're going to do the double thing again on this.
I don't know.
Well, you don't need
I
to,
don't
do you?
think so.
So how about we just
Like that we
hide
did
the wire in here and this will just hold it all in place. Is it going to work?
That'll work. I'll beat it into submission. We got the hair dryer. The hair dryer. I like to glue it all in and hit it with the hair dryer, and the wire just. You like that? Goes like that, and then goes all stiff. And then you're done.
Oh. How's this? This is still going to be messy.
It's alright. I'll let you off.
How's that?
Put a little bit of blue tack in there.
How's that?
That's alright. I'll let you off.
I don't know, it looks a bit messy, doesn't it?
And these are the finer points of RC. Do you know what's a finer point in my life?
What's that?
Look what I'm about to do. I'm about to peel one off.
You're going to do what?
Peel one off.
That could have a couple of different meanings, you know.
Could it?
It could.
I don't think so.
I think so.
Are you being a deviant?
No, not yet.
I don't trust you.
I wouldn't do it the first time.
What, you haven't been trusted or you've been a deviant?
Oh, I guess it's both.
No, I'm peeling back the body skin. Because the body is never shinier, more glossy and more beautiful than the next 30 seconds.
No, that's true.
Okay?
That's true. Absolutely true. Alright, I think that's looking reasonably neat. That looks alright.
Do you believe that there's like a YouTube channel on just peeling the layer off stuff?
See?
Yeah, I watch it all the time.
Do you?
No.
Do you get great enjoyment?
Not at all.
No?
No.
Don't understand it?
No.
Alright, so that's that. Alright, so we're happy enough just to get that in there.
I'm not knocking people that watch it. I'm just saying it's not for me. Shut up and take my money. Look at that.
I like it.
Does it sparkle?
It does sparkle.
Doesn't seem to pop like the Fiat, but maybe because it doesn't have the blue context. Can I say that?
Well, you already have.
Now I'm not going to water slide these. Do you think I should water slide them or do you think I should just raw dog it?
Raw dog it, because that's what we expect people to do. Just raw dog it.
Because they're already
Pre-cut and everything?
pre-cut, look.
Mm.
So I've got it on the back of a hobby knife, which is less than professional because the hobby knife's quite sharp, and if I have to manoeuvre it, it'll slice the sticker in half. But I'm trying to do it now. I would usually probably water slide it because it'll give me more control.
Alright, so I'm just trying to work out where I'm going to put this.
Because I don't want to put my fingers all over this sticker if I can help it. But I do want the sticker to be nice and straight.
Now I'm just wiggling this around just so we can get this adhered
Don't
properly.
Stop moving, baby. You're the
But
this
will be good just to
wiggle, wiggle.
That's it. So this will be good to get a bit of heat into the bottom of the chassis too, because that'll activate the glue that's on the double-sided tape.
So that is window masking at its finest.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. It's transformed it.
Never window mask again. I'll be on the phone to J-Spec.
Right?
Yeah, and again, to make me stickers of windows. Never mask a window again.
There we go. So if we do this, then you can't confuse it.
I'm confused all the time.
Alright, so they'll stay there, and we're going to solder on these motor wires. Okay, so what was it? Yellow on the top.
I've actually forgotten.
Okay. Alright, so let's just angle this so it's a bit easier to manoeuvre.
The angle to dangle.
Let's see.
I'm using no heat, no water.
Yeah. I'm just going to tin the tabs on the motor because it's got the suppression
The eddy current suppression ring.
what do you call them again? I'm thinking the Japanese call them condensers. Capacitors, that's what it is.
Condensers also the same thing.
Is it?
I'm condensed.
Alright, so we'll just heat that up. Put in. I'm at a funky angle here.
Are you?
Can't see what I'm doing.
I always said you're a bit bent.
What are we doing here? Alright, so that's tinned quite nicely. Probably get a better idea when I tin this one. This will be easier to see. It's not actually obstructed by the chassis.
I think Tamia need to take the leaf out of YOKOMO's book. That's how you do window stickers, Tamia. Look at that.
Alright, so
I should probably read the instructions because I don't know how these other stickers go on.
Alright, so that's all tinned. What do you mean?
Well, they don't have numbers, but which way do they go on?
Just check the book. Look at the book!
I don't know, have a look at the box.
Hey, which? I can't see. Is that the yellow one?
Somebody hid
Which
the
one's-
colour of the wire. What a nonce.
Which one's yellow? Oh, so I want the blue one on the bottom, yeah?
Well, that's what you reckon. Don't cut it to length though, because I'm not entirely sure.
What do you mean? No, I'm just going to leave them sort of semi-longish. Blue, is that blue? That's yellow. That one's blue. It's blue? It's blue. Alright, so blue we're putting on the bottom. Now, again, I'm at a funky angle, so I'm going to use my trusty pliers.
I'm just going for broke on these stickers, Beach, so please don't yell at me.
Why am I going to yell at you?
Because I'm on a funky angle and I'm a bit...
Alright, so that's on. Okay, got that one on. Now we could probably shorten these wires, but we'll leave them as is for the moment.
If you could,
I don't think they're going to interfere with the body.
I'll be the judge of that.
It'll give us a little bit of leeway. I'm going to switch this off now so I don't burn myself again.
Have you been burning yourself?
I have multiple times in the elbow. Alright, so there's where we're at. Okay, so this is what I mean by there's plenty of room. Okay, these could be shortened. But it looks okay so far. I've got our positive wire here.
James Ansley could go out of business with this.
Don't show it to him then. Don't show it.
Look at this. Look at that. Go fast stripes.
What'd you say? Pachol. Wow.
No?
Wow. That looks right, doesn't it? Where's the radio? Alright, so we've got that. I'm just going to quickly fire it up. Switch on the radio first. And then switch on the Zika.
That is one of the oldest techniques, isn't it?
Wow. Alright, so we've got the steerings are working. And it's gone the right way. And it's all operating in the correct direction. Wow! Oh, the pin's flying off. You haven't done it up, have you?
No. I have not done it.
Alright, so we know it all works, which is great. Switch that off, unplug it.
I'm pulling, like the tongue nearly come out then.
Did it? Alright, switch it
I'm
off.
pulling funny faces doing these stickers. It's actually a lot more challenging than I'm letting on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to do on this?
Need to tighten the pinion. But we can
Tighten
do
the
that.
pinion, yeah.
I need to glue the tyres.
Right.
But we've done many tutorials on that.
Yeah, we don't need to show anyone. Everyone knows what that's all about, don't they?
And then we're going to do a bit of racetrack report.
Racetrack report.
What do you think?
I think that sounds like a plan. That was 1.5. Is that a 1.5?
You do it the pignon.
I'll do it the pignon.
A filet mignon.
I could do a filet mignon.
You do love a good steak, don't you?
I do. The best steak.
Just don't get it with mushrooms. Have you heard about that fiasco with the mignon?
What do you mean?
4 people passed away at the dinner party.
What, the foraged mushrooms?
Yeah.
That's the best way. They're tasty that way, aren't they? Where'd you go all silent?
Because
What's wrong with you?
you scare me.
Why? Wild mushrooms. That's the thing, isn't it?
It could be a thing.
I reckon this is looking pretty damn good.
Sorry, I was really concentrating then because...
Well, yeah. Hey, hang on, that's almost finished.
What do you mean?
What's going on here?
What do you mean it's almost finished?
Look at this. Actually, that lane flake works really well.
How well?
Well, the lane flake is quite interesting, isn't it? Because I thought it was like silver. And now once this orange has gone on it, it's got a sort of gold glint to it.
I really love
Isn't
that we chose 9 steps orange. I'm going to put this on the wing with the wing in situ.
I think this is all looking pretty good.
Yeah, but you'd say that anyway.
Now that lane flake, I'm a convert. I like that lane flake now.
It's good. It's really to scale, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want, as we've spoken about this before, is fleck that's out of scale.
And we're talking about the body here. It was really hard to get the orange in there, but I think you've done a pretty good job.
Oh, thank you.
Because you can see how narrow that is, that spine. And that design, that whole spine just adds so much rigidity to it, doesn't it? It stops it all from flexing.
I'm a bit disappointed that didn't go on as straight as I want.
What do you mean? That's good enough.
It's a little bit off to the right.
Nah, it's right. It's right. I think it looks alright. But we're doing this really quick.
No, we're not. Oh, yeah.
How good is it?
What have you got for me? Well, I think the rest of it can be done on track.
I think so.
Let's have a rundown. Have you plugged it in?
It has been plugged in.
And have you checked over the trim? Oh, look what you've done.
I haven't checked the trim.
You haven't checked the trim, but you've checked over the basic.
I did that so you wouldn't mistake it.
Oh, I'll mistake it anyway.
Were you? Yeah. Let it smoke out. Alright, so we've got our controller here. You want to switch it on?
Look at that. That is gorgeous.
Alright, so that's on. You're plugged in.
We are plugged in.
Yeah. Switch it on. Alright, what's the steering look like?
So it's going the right way, which is good.
Yeah.
It's definitely trimmed off to the right a little.
Just a touch, isn't it?
Now we'll do the final adjustment on track, but the reason I do that is so I can get the drill rate to the right level.
Yeah. You don't want it fighting against the mechanicals, do you? You don't want the servo overextending. Yeah, pretty good. So ready to go?
Straight into the camera. Look at that.
How funky. There you go.
So that is our Rookie Off-Road RO1.0 build. I've got to put Velcro on there yet, but that's neither here nor there.
We'll just put it on.
There's two things that I have to do.
Oh. Be careful not to scratch the paint because we haven't let it fully cure yet.
I have.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, you cooked it.
No, it's not really cured at all.
Wow!
That,
we
my
got
friend,
a car.
is YOKOMO Race Buggy RO1.0.
There is the RO1.0, which we're going to be happily using it at the track very shortly.
Yeah, so keep an eye out on social media and do yourself a favour, stay in touch because this RO1.0 could change the way you go RC car racing. And even if you don't want to go RC car racing, it's a great first build, isn't it? You compare that to a Tamiya Super Shoot.
Yes.
It is a different calibre.
Yes.
You know,
totally.
Absolutely different calibre. And when you're talking about the same finish price, you can see why this is worth every penny. So we're going to get it to the track, we're going to get some videos, we're going to get some footage, and we're going to have some fun more than anything.
How good is that?
That is Buggy built in 3 episodes.
That's it.
I don't think it's ever been done before.
I don't think so. That was impressive.
I'm Brett from Hearns.
I'm BJ from Hearns.
And thanks for watching episode 3 on the YOKOMO RO1.0 build.
Cheers.
See you next time.